a little arrow next to it as well. And it shows you how many changes you've made, and you can go back and undo as many as you'd like. So you don't have to keep clicking undo. You can actually just select way down here at the bottom if you want to go way back to the beginning, or if you only want to go back a couple of steps, you can just select those. So if I wanted to go all the way back to the beginning, I'd hover my mouse over Insert Picture, click on it, and I'm all the way back to the beginning without having made any changes. If you wanted to add another button up here, so you wanted more than just save, undo, redo, you can do that with this little arrow here. And you get all these options for adding buttons up here. So if you didn't want to keep looking through the tabs for these commands, you can just add them here. If there's one on this list that you don't see that you'd like, you go under More Commands, and you can actually add any command in the whole program. So if you're doing a lot of things like adding bullets, you can add that button, and you just click Add and OK, and it'll appear up here. So as many as you want, you can add up there to save you from having to go into the menus. If you do need to go into the menus, you can click Alt, and a bunch of letters and numbers will appear, and you just click the corresponding letter. So if I wanted to go in the References tab, I'd click S, and then if I wanted to insert a footnote, I would click F, and there we go. We're done the footnote without ever having to move the mouse. So that's excellent. All your keyboard shortcuts like Control-S, Control-C will still work in these programs. The next button that's important is the Office button, and this is where your new save, print functions are. So one of the most common questions is, how do I print? And it's in here, but you can also press Control-P and that will print as well. So new, and it'll actually show your recently looked at documents right here. Open is here, and we're just going to talk about save briefly. So if you click Save, you'll notice that by default it saves the file in this docx format. So it has that X at the end. And this is to indicate that it's an Office 2007 document. Now, for the next month, while all of Chorus gets on Office 2007, you may want to be cognizant of the fact that they may have issues opening 2007 documents. They would just have to download a reader for it, but that is can be a little bit tricky. So you may want to save it in the older format, which isn't a big deal. You just click on this area down here and select Word 97 to 2003 document. So it lays it right out there for you. And then you'll click Save, and that will save it in the older format. In programs like Excel, if you save in an older format, you may get a compatibility warning saying some features aren't compatible with the older version. This is typically things like colors and fonts, not things like data and formulas. So you should be okay if you spent a lot of time working on an Excel spreadsheet in the newer format, that everything will work in the older format if you save it that way. It's just maybe the color blue doesn't work in the older version of Office. So don't worry that your numbers and stuff will get lost. If you're hesitant, save it in both formats. And that will make sure that you don't lose anything that you don't want to. The other way of saving in that older format is to go under Save As, and you just hover your mouse here, and you can just select Word 2003 or 1997 document from this menu. If you download an Adobe plugin, so if you type in Acrobat PDF Maker Office add-in into Google, or just look up Adobe plugin Office in Google, you should get this plugin that you can download. It's super easy, and then you can just make Adobe PDFs without having to go through a converter or anything. You just click Adobe PDF and it will automatically convert for you. Print is here. Print, this first option will give you the option of what printer to print to. Quick Print will print to your default printer, and Print Preview is obviously Print Preview. You can send from in here, and again, if you have that Adobe plugin, you can create a PDF and email it right away. Finally, there's Word Options, and it's not under File Preferences anymore. You're just going to find it in that Word Options button, and you can change a whole bunch of options from within here, but this is where you do your preferences and stuff in that Word Options menu. So that's about all for Word. We'll go in and check out Excel now, and you will see that Excel looks very similar to Word. You have the ribbon at the top, and this Home tab just contains things that actually have to do with Excel now as opposed to word processing. The newest features in Excel are this format as table thing. So if I'm creating a table with this data and I wanted to make it look more professional, I select that table and then I'm going to click the Format as Table button, and I can select whatever color scheme I'd like. And this little menu will pop up here asking me if my table already has headers. If it does, I'm going to leave this box checked. If it doesn't, I'll uncheck it and it'll give me the option of typing in my headers. I click OK, and then you'll see that it auto-formatted this as a table, and as I keep adding data in, it keeps formatting the table for me, so I don't have to keep selecting and formatting. If I decide I don't like this format, I don't like the red, I'd rather it be green, I just select that table, Format as Table, and now I can use that live preview function to take a look at what it would look like in any of these different styles. And once I like one, again, I just click it, and there it is. These arrows next to the headings are to sort. So if I want to sort A to Z, I click that, and it'll sort every column from A to Z. Sort Z to A. From this column, that's fine. It actually takes your whole table instead of just a row as it did before. It will do your whole table if that's what you want. So that's pretty much Excel. The only other question that we've gotten fairly frequently is what is this conditional formatting? And that is a menu that will allow you to say things like if the data in the cell is greater than 10, then make it red. If it's less than 5, make it blue, those kind of changes. So that can all be done from in there. But again, hover your mouse over anything and it should show up with what it is. For help, this is a good chance to let you know about the help options. There's a help button up here, or you can press F1 and that will give you the help. You can also call a service called PC Helps, which is an outsourced service that we have for you to answer things like how do I print, how do I change the color of this, or how do I do a pivot table. Those kind of questions they can answer, and they can be accessed by calling the service desk. And when that answering machine message comes on, you press the number 3, and that will get you to them, and they can answer those how-to questions for you. If you've had an issue with your install, please call this regular service desk. Press 1 or 2 after you call the service desk, and they can help you out with that. So that's Excel. And so the last program we're going to look at in this Office suite is PowerPoint. And you'll see, again, very similar to Excel and Word in that it has this ribbon at the top. The Home tab has all your commonly used functions. New things in PowerPoint are the designs. So new designs in here. You can change all the colors of them if you're interested in doing that. The Chorus templated PowerPoint presentations will work in Office 2007 without issue. Your animations, again, you get that live preview function so you can see what any of these animations will look like, which is handy. And to view your slideshow, it's under the slideshow tab from beginning or current slide or custom slideshow. But again, if you don't want to go into those tabs, add it to the quick access toolbar from these little arrows here. Last program we're going to look at is Office Communicator, and this can be found at the bottom of your screen. It'll look like a little loop here, and you can just double click it to open. It should sign you in automatically. If you have issues signing in, it should be your username and password that you use to get onto the network. If that doesn't work, call the service desk. So this is like a messaging program that we hope will cut down on those kind of one-word emails back and forth and will allow you to collaborate a little bit easier. So when you first get in there, you won't see anything unless you've already had people add you as a contact. But if you want to talk to someone, you're just going to type their name in, and you'll see them on the list. And you can right-click on their name, and you're going to go to Add to Contact List.